no matter what it is, they always in the news for something. This week's news, I mean, look, it's real simple. You know, when it comes to the shield, the NFL shield, you have, and you talk about the Patriots, you have Robert Kraft. But off the field, you got Bobby K, baby. And Bobby K gets it in. Hey, what you got on Robert Kraft, man?
Okay. This whole thing with Robert Kraft, it's funny, man, but I take it a little bit more seriously. And to me, it's a predictable thing that happens. Let me give you a rundown of what Robert Kraft has done pretty much in the last 10 months this year. April 11th, 2018, he visits Meek Mill in jail. Everybody knows Meek Mill there's no reason for him to be in jail at the time. But I'm going to give you a quote from Robert Kraft. He says, I know some of our players in the NFL have talked about this, and I see firsthand that it's just wrong. So this is just an isolated incident. No big deal. 2 weeks later, Meek Mill gets out of jail. All right. So clearly, Robert Kraft had a lot to do with that. Fast forward, May 9th. He's sitting courtside with Meek Mill and Gucci Mane. Game 2, 76ers and Celtics. So everything is all good. You know, he's hanging out. He's doing different things, checking out different things in his life. Super Bowl, you got Cardi B performing February 2nd. Go back to the big date, January 24th, 2019. He launches prison reform with Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and hold up, with some other ones. Let me read you these names real quick. In addition to Jay-Z and Meek Mill, the founding partners include Philadelphia 76ers co-owner and Fanatics executive chairman Michael Rubin, Kraft Group CEO and New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, Brooklyn Nets co-owner and philanthropic investor Claire Woodside, Third Point LLC CEO and founder Daniel S. Loeb, Galaxy Digital CEO and founder Michael E. Navagratz. Goes on further to say the group has pledged $50 million to launch the organization, hire CNN commentator Van Jones as CEO. That is a big deal. But see, it's all good, you know, when you're going to the barbecue, you're having fun, doing new things, enjoying the music, this and that, and you start cooking, you start showing up. Robert Kraft started paying for it, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem. It's all right when it's just an isolated incident. Getting Meek Mill out, that's cool. That's nice, good publicity. What happened to him? February 22nd, Robert Kraft listed as part of investigation for solicitation of prostitution. A month later, after he launches prison reform, his ass is listed for solicitation of prostitution. Y'all don't find that ironic? That's serious, man. And that's exactly what's going on. This is a very simple warning. He's not going to go to jail. He's got too much money. It's not even going to be that big of a deal. Probably pay some fine, get suspended by the NFL. But today he officially just got charged. So that's what I see is going on. It's too ironic, man. You're telling me a month later, after you launch prison reform and you put up big money for it, because now all of a sudden you have a heart because you've been around all these players that have been complaining to you about this issue. So now you putting up the money. So nice little warning to him, man. And he needs to understand he can get touched. And that's all that is. It's a message.
You know
so
what?
Whatever he does, he needs to be perfect in whatever he's doing. Because that was petty. He could go to Vegas and do it legally in the same country. That makes no sense, but that's the law. That's what it is. So I want to see what he does going forward. And them other guys that's on the list, I want to see what they do.
You know what? It's interesting. The other guys, other than like Michael Rubin, most of those guys don't really matter as much because they don't have their pockets ain't deep. You know what I mean? Their pockets not as deep. the interesting thing about this whole thing is this wasn't like Warren Sapp when he got busted. Like he picked up the prostitute who was a cop. It wasn't like that. This was a sting operation. This was an investigation, something that was planned and coordinated. And when you do a sting operation, the whole purpose is to catch certain targets. When you just pick up a prostitute on the street like Warren Sapp did, that's not a sting operation. You're literally just got unlucky. You picked the wrong one.
Yeah.
It's a sting operation. You are targeted. That's the part that I think people glossed over, and I'm glad you looked at that and picked up on that too, and really dug into that, because I hadn't even thought to dig into it as deep as you did. So props to you. But like when I heard about it, when I heard about the sting operation, when I first heard about Robert Kraft getting busted, I laughed. I didn't think too much of it,
I don't care.
But then a day or two later, when they talk about the investigation that went into it, because initially I was thinking what most people thought, that he got arrested. He didn't get arrested. They just issued the warrant 2 hours ago today. Right before we jumped on air, they issued the warrant. He didn't get arrested, okay? When you get caught right there on the spot, you get arrested like Warren Sapp did. He didn't get arrested because it was about building up evidence, building up a case. You are a target when they do that. There's a huge difference. People not catching that. Yeah. And there's a reason that he's a target. You don't just target Robert Kraft for no reason. It don't happen. I mean, you think this is the first time that he been down to Jupiter, Florida, where the millionaires hang out, and he picked up some prostitutes at a spa? No.
They all do it. Everybody, hold up, man. Everybody knows Coast owner does coke every single day.
Yes.
He out here partying, living it up. We know what these rich people do, man. They all paying for sex. I don't care. To me, it's a waste of my tax dollars. You're a grown-ass woman, and you decide you want to sell your body. Grown man, he wants to pay for it. Beyond me. But when you have money like that, I don't care. As long as it don't involve kids or, anything against somebody's will, then we have a problem. This is clearly, like you said, a sting operation. Why are y'all sitting out here looking at an Asian parlor for what? For what? Who cares? I'm telling you, bruh. He messed up. They own him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money in prison, dog. It's a lot of money in prison, and they putting us in jail every day with trumped up charges, and he's trying to end that. They say, oh, no. You got one out. That's fine. But you're not about to take a lot out. No. Now you messing with big pockets. He a billionaire. He can get touched.
Exactly.
That's all that is. That's all that is.
Get touched if you don't play by the rules. It's that simple. If you don't play by the rules, you can't get touched. And Robert Kraft is getting touched right now. It's just that simple. And like I said, props to you for even doing the research on it, because I hadn't even thought that far back. I didn't think no more than the actual sting operation, and that didn't even come right away. Because initially I just laughed. I didn't think nothing of it. Okay, he a billionaire. He got busted for prostitution. I was laughed. It was like, okay, he gonna be all right. But then
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, the report of the sting. When I realized that he wasn't even arrested yet, that this was just the investigation. Oh no, because that ain't how it works with prostitution. You don't investigate prostitution. You catch them or you don't. Investigation means target it. This was a sting operation.
Walking around.
They went after him. So
prostitutes walking around in every major city every night, and cops drive past them. They don't care.
Pick them up.
It's not important. There's other things you need to be out here doing. But when they want to get to somebody, they can. And he needs to understand, if you're going to continue, you need to watch your back, number one, and you need to be damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Because you stepping in the area that we've been complaining about, and now he sees. This is real, bro. This is a real issue, and it might get worse. I'm very interested to see a year or two from now what he continues to do with this prison reform.
I agree.
So I just want to sit back. I just want to see, because they make it hard for some of these guys that want to change things, that want to make the world a better place. They make it hard on you.
I'm gonna say this real quick. Anybody out there that watched the show Ballers, I really like that show a lot. initially when I started watching it, I thought it was going to be a show because it's The Rock and you got John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son. You know, I thought it would just be an interesting show about, you know, athletes and football players and stuff like that. But it turned out to be a lot better than what I thought it was. Yeah, it's funny, and yeah, you get a whole bunch of other stuff and drama, but they touch on a lot of stuff in this show that people don't touch on, from politics to race issues and all kind of stuff. But this past season, they touched on something that I've never seen touched on show, movie, anything. And that's the issue with the NCAA and the politics that comes with that. As far as money goes, as far as players getting paid, all that stuff. They touched on all of it for the NCAA. And there's one part where Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he's mentoring this high school kid. And he's the number one quarterback in the country, black kid out in California. And the kid is trying to pick what school he wants to go to. And The Rock has a huge influence on it because not only is he mentoring him, but he's dating his mom. So when the NCAA finds out that The Rock has so much influence, they're trying to use him to leverage where he goes. Where's the money going to go? Is he going to go to USC or is he going to go to Ohio State? It's the two schools that he was looking at the hardest. But then when The Rock says, screw this, make your money, you can get paid by picking a network that you're going to announce your decision on, like LeBron did. And he says, screw what they're saying. Do you get your money? The NCAA was so pissed, not that he did this, that they wasn't in on the deal. They got him pulled over on his way to the airport. He had prescription drugs that the doctor gave him from past injuries, concussions, knee surgeries, all this stuff. Most athletes have a bunch of prescription drugs on them at all times. That's legal. He had a bag of prescription drugs. They had him pulled over, took him and his drugs and said his drugs was illegal and threw him in jail. But they didn't keep him there. They only kept him there for a few hours. Then someone from the NCAA came down there and said, this was just a warning to let you know what we're capable of. Either you going to fall back and let us do us, or we're going to have problems. I thought that scene was so unbelievably deep because it's true. That's how the NCAA works, and that's how sports in a lot of ways works, and politics in general. But for them to do that, I thought that was real deep. Great. It was a great scene. Good show. You definitely should check it out if you ain't never watched it. But what you just said is exactly what happened in that scene. And I find that to be interesting because now you're talking about Robert Kraft, who's a billionaire and who's really stepping out on a limb here, trying to make some sort of change. So now what's going to happen? Is he still on that limb?
Hey, I'm telling you, Robert Kraft, you on thin ice, bro. Welcome. Welcome.
He on that limb. Real quick before